Reuters says two senior Iranian officials are telling them the supreme leader has drawn a line. Enriched uranium stays inside Iran. Full stop. And that lands the same day Tehran says it's still reviewing the U.S. proposal Pakistan is trying to keep alive.
Iran war daily. And yeah, the diplomatic track and the nuclear track are basically in a head-on collision now.
We've got Khamenei's uranium directive against what Pakistan is brokering. CNN's U.S. intel assessment on Iran rebuilding drones against what CENTCOM said on the record May 19th. And RFE-RL's Hormuz control piece sitting next to a nominal rebound in vessel traffic. 3 fault lines, and we're keeping each one separate.
I want a dollar figure on the table for all of it, because the congressional price tag on Operation Epic Fury is now $29 billion, and I have questions about what that actually bought.
Reuters writes,
Iran's supreme leader has issued a directive that the country's near-weapons-grade uranium should not be sent abroad, 2 senior Iranian sources said, hardening Tehran's stance on one of the main U.S. demands at peace talks. Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei's order could further frustrate U.S. President Donald Trump and complicate talks on ending the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran.
So here's the continuity from earlier this week. The short-fuse talks we flagged just ran into a very specific wall. Reuters, through 2 senior Iranian sources, is reporting that Khamenei issued a directive, his word, not a paper position, that near-weapons-grade uranium does not leave Iran. That's the enrichment storage compromise Pakistan has been trying to broker, and it's off the table from the top of the chain of command.
And on the same day, Al Jazeera is saying Tehran is reviewing the latest U.S. proposal. Reviewing a proposal, Israel says, has to include uranium leaving the country, while the supreme leader has ordered it stays. Those 2 headlines do not fit together in any operational sense.
Netanyahu's stated conditions to Reuters are on the record. Uranium removed. Proxy support ended. Ballistic missiles eliminated. Trump has apparently assured Israel the uranium leaves. Now Khamenei has formally directed that it doesn't. One head of government is promising one thing. Another country's supreme authority is ordering the opposite.
So what did the $29 billion Operation Epic Fury buy exactly if the one physical concession the U.S. promised Israel is now off the table in Tehran? CNN's intel assessment says Iran is rebuilding faster than expected. The drone lines are running, and the uranium isn't moving. That's not a negotiation with wrinkles. That's physics showing up in the middle of diplomacy.
Here's Al Jazeera.
Tehran says it is reviewing the latest responses from the United States to its proposal to end the nearly 3-month U.S.-Israel war on Iran, as mediator Pakistan steps up efforts to achieve progress in the talks that U.S. President Donald Trump has warned are on the borderline between a deal and renewed strikes.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghai, via Noor News, says Tehran has received the U.S. views and is reviewing them. That's the official Iranian line, not a joint statement. The new piece today is Pakistan stepping up. Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi is back for a second visit in under a week, and Field Marshal Asim Munir is headed to Tehran Thursday.
Pakistan's military chief is making a personal trip to Tehran the same week Khamenei issues a directive saying enriched uranium physically cannot leave Iran. Those are not parallel tracks. They're slamming into each other. You can't broker uranium custody in a communique when the supreme leader has already answered the question.
That's the live tension from last week's thread. On May 21st, Trump's few days window was either expiring or getting quietly extended. Pakistan stepping in right now is the only new institutional fact that explains why the clock hasn't publicly fallen apart. But Tehran is still in review mode, not response mode.
Vance is already on record saying the U.S. is locked and loaded if talks fail. And the other headline here is Iran saying it coordinated the passage of 26 vessels out of Hormuz in 24 hours. Tehran is signaling control of the Strait while telling Islamabad it's reviewing Washington's proposal. That's not one negotiating posture. That's 2 messages fighting for the same microphone.
CNN writes,
Iran has already restarted some of its drone production during the 6-week ceasefire that began in early April. One sign it is rapidly rebuilding certain military capabilities degraded by U.S.-Israeli strikes, according to 2 sources familiar with U.S. intelligence assessments. 4 sources told CNN that U.S. intelligence indicates Iran's military is reconstituting much faster than initially estimated.
CNN is reporting, with 4 people familiar with U.S. intelligence assessments, that Iran restarted drone production during the 6-week ceasefire and is reconstituting its military-industrial base faster than first estimated. That's the U.S. intelligence community's characterization, published May 21st, and it lands right against CENTCOM Admiral Cooper's May 19th statement on Al Arabiya that those capabilities were destroyed. 2 U.S. side claims, both on the record, and the newer one is the intelligence assessment.
So the congressional report says Operation Epic Fury cost $29 billion, and Iran's drone line is already running again. What exactly did that buy? CENTCOM took its victory lap on Al Arabiya, and now CNN's intelligence sources are answering in a U.S. outlet, which is exactly the venue that victory lap was meant to avoid.
To be precise, the CNN report says missile sites, launchers, and production capacity for key weapons systems are being replaced, and drone production has already restarted. That doesn't mean the rebuild is finished. It means it's moving faster than the initial estimate. The CENTCOM destroyed framing is the one that needs a source update now. From The Independent.
More than 40 U.S. military aircraft have been lost or damaged since the start of the war with Iran, a congressional report has revealed. Operation Epic Fury has led to the destruction of 42 aircraft, including F-15 fighter jets, an F-35 Lightning II aircraft, drones, and a HH-60W Jolly Green II combat search and rescue helicopter, due to incidents including friendly fire and combat operations.
The congressional report, via The Independent, gives us a fiscal floor on Operation Epic Fury. 42 aircraft lost or damaged, and a total cost of $29 billion. That's the number we were waiting on to pin down the earlier CRS damage count. And now it has both a dollar figure and a named institutional source.
And let's be specific about what sits inside that 42. An F-35A at $110 million a copy, 4 F-15s, including 3 taken out by friendly fire over Kuwait on March 2nd, and 7 KC-135 tankers damaged in friendly airspace. That's not just a combat loss tally, that's a procurement disaster with a congressional seal on it.
The friendly fire part matters procedurally. 3 F-15s over Kuwait on March 2nd is one incident the report now attributes to friendly fire. And that's a different accountability question than combat attrition.
And stack that against CNN's U.S. intel assessment that Iran's drone production line is already running again faster than expected. So $29 billion bought 42 aircraft down and a drone industry that didn't stay destroyed. Somebody needs to say that out loud in a hearing, not just in a report.
Here's Frood Bazan at RFE-RL.
Shortly after the outbreak of the war with the United States and Israel, Iran took control of the Strait of Hormuz, a key artery for global oil and gas supplies. By threatening and attacking international shipping, Iran brought maritime traffic to a virtual standstill, giving it significant leverage over its neighbors in the Persian Gulf and the global economy. Now, the Islamic Republic is formalizing its dominance over the strategic choke point by imposing a new transit regime.
RFE-RL today is on Iran's Persian Gulf Strait Authority. The PGSA went operationally live May 18th, and on May 20th, it posted a map on X outlining Iran's claimed zone of maritime control. That's a new institutional body with a named start date, vetting and tolling vessels in the strait, while CENTCOM's blockade is still in effect.
2 transit regimes in the same choke point. That's not a standoff. That's a billing dispute with warships. The Kepler vessel count rebound and CENTCOM's 89 boardings figure are now sitting next to Iran, charging tolls through a body that didn't exist a week ago. Someone is collecting. Someone is being collected from. So who's actually setting the price of passage?
That question is sharper today than it was Tuesday. CENTCOM told Al Arabiya on May 19th that capabilities were destroyed. CNN's U.S. intel assessment this week says Iran is already producing drones faster than expected and rebuilding. The PGSA going live on May 18th is the physical infrastructure answer to both claims at once.
And the Supreme Leader's directive, enriched uranium stays inside Iran, sourced to 2 senior Iranian officials via Reuters, lands the same day Tehran says it's reviewing the U.S. proposal. You can't broker uranium custody in a one-page MOU when the top institutional order is that the material doesn't move. Pakistan is mediating a physical impossibility.
If you rely on Iran War Daily for clear updates on urgent global risks, try Ebola Watch, a daily DRC and Uganda Ebola outbreak briefing with case counts, order tracing, WHO vaccine news, and traveler guidance. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find links to every story we covered today in the show notes. If there's one you want to spend more time with, that's the place to start. That's Iran War Daily for today. This is a Lantern podcast.